I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. We move on now to page 24 of the Grade 4 Discovering Music Theory workbook, and we look at the topic of keys and scales. And here in particular, we're looking at the technical names for the degrees of the scale. Instead of calling each step of the scale by its number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we can give them technical names here. And of course, you can just go ahead and just revise them and learn them. However, it's much more helpful and certainly much more enjoyable if you can understand why they are called these. And actually, I do get a little bit excited here because it was decades and decades down the line before I actually understood fully why these were called as such. And it was only when I just happened to casually glance on a book that had been on my shelf for years and years that I actually discovered it. It was one of those real light bulb moments. And so let's just look at why they are named as such. And so if I just fold this paper so we can see both parts of the page. So here we go. So the tonic. So let's look at C major. So we know that the tonic note C. Now it's called the tonic because it's the tone key home, as it were. So the home key. So we've looked at that one. Now the next one we're going to look at is the dominant, the fifth. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a G. And so if we look at G, I'm going to put it up an octave because we're counting. We use that one there, counting upwards for now. Now, the dominant is called as such because it dominates the key. It's the strongest harmony. When we look at the chords, we'll see that the chord built on chord 5 is the one that leaves you really hanging. And also, the dominant note is the next key that you would go to. It's the strongest link in the key. So it dominates the harmonies. So that's the dominant note. Then we have the subdominant. So the fourth degree of the scale, F. Sub means lower, and so it's the lower fifth. So the dominant is the fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The subdominant is the lower fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've counted up to the dominant, we've counted down to the lower dominant, and that's the next closest key. Harmonically speaking, it's the next strongest chord, as it were, and the next strongest harmony. And then we have the mediant. And if you think about your maths when you did averages, the mediant is the middle. So the third, C, D, E, is the middle. There we go. And it forms the middle part of your triad there as well. Just nice little extra bit of information there. And then the next one, which seems a little strange, is the submediant, the sixth, which is note A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's the submediant, the lower mediant. So there we go. And then the supertonic, so super means above. So like if you go to the opera, you have super titles where you have translation in words of the opera above the stage. Sub is lower, like a subway underneath. Super is above. So the supertonic is above the tonic. So here's the tonic, C. The supertonic as D is one step above that. So we're above the tonic. So that's that one. And then the final one is the leading note, which leads us up to the tonic. And that's also the sort of point in the key. When you have a 7th degree of the scale, it always wants to go home to 8, the tonic. So it leads you back to the tonic there. And so that's why these technical names are given. They harmonically describe each note's position in the key. And so, you know, you can either think about why, but of course either way you've got to learn this a little bit. I just think it helps to know why. And so really we've just got to think which step of the scale and then give it its proper name. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 5th is the dominant. This is the note that dominates the key. And the supertonic is above, one step above the tonic. So now in this next one, don't forget we're counting backwards now. So we've got to go 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so the 6th is the submediant. And the 3rd is the mediant. And they actually both form part of the relative minor triad as well. So they are harmonically linked as well. Lots of clever little sort of interwoven relationships between these. And, you know, I'm sure there's some great mathematical reason why, but as far as I'm concerned, it just looks like magic to see all these little connections. And it doesn't matter whether it's a major or minor key, we're still describing the same steps of the scale. So here we're counting backwards, just the same. And again, just because the clefs change, it doesn't change anything. We just count the degrees of the scale. So do go ahead and try these last two. So I'm hoping you've had a go of these. Let's just check these through together. And of course, for now, you can always just peep to the top of the page and double check yourself. But as soon as we turn the page, I suggest you do a bit of revision and then test yourself. So here we're counting backwards from C, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And yes, the 7th degree of the scale is raised. It doesn't change the fact that that is still the leading note. That's the leading note in a harmonic minor scale. And so we know the 5th is the dominant. That's the one that dominates the key. And the 3rd is the mediant that forms the middle of the triad. And then finally looking at E minor, it's the melodic minor form, but this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of that particular scale. So it still describes the note and its position in the scale. So of course the first note is the tonic. So we hardly even need to know what note it is. We know that this is an E, but it's the 1st degree of the scale. And so it must be the tonic, the tone key, kind of like the home note. And then the 6th is the submediant, which seems strange because we've counted quite high up, but when we look at the diagram, it's the lower middle. It's the lower mediant. So it's the submediant. Number 6 is the submediant, which shares the same harmonic sort of chord structure as the mediant as well. So that's that page completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.